would you do if you were suddenly homeless? A house fire, a flood, or some other disaster?
You are watching Influence Media, PSI TV, the Netflix of biz brands.
Well, if your family is in the Tampa, Florida area, housing instability or homelessness and the transition from that situation to a safe and stable home is the mission of Dawning Family Services. They are geared to help with this situation. And the CEO of this 501 organization, Tammi Casagni, is here with us today. Tammi, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Trudy, for having me.
So Tammi joined the Dawning Family Services in 2015 when it was known as the Alpha House of Tampa, that era. Initially as Vice President of Programs and Operations, she now serves as the CEO. Her leadership has been crucial in expanding the organization's mission to support families at risk of homelessness. With a master's degree in social work from Boston University and teaching English as a second language at Salem University, Tammi brings more than 20 years of nonprofit experience. Originally from Massachusetts, she spent 6 years in Costa Rica teaching ESOL, English as a second language, and learning Spanish before moving to Florida in 2015. So she's here with us to talk about the services of Dawning Family Services, and PSI TV is honored to partner with them to bring awareness to what's going on over there. So Tammi, thank you so much. And our goal today is really to bring more attention to this organization, the people that it serves, and the needs of Dawning Family Services so that it can continue to do its amazing mission. So thank you for being with us today. That being said, Tammi, what is the greatest ongoing need, not just a need, but an ongoing need for the mission of Dawning Family Services?
Well, as we're seeing an incredible increase in the number of families experiencing homelessness and housing instability, really our ongoing need is financial support from the community and from local businesses and corporations. So as the need increases, we're able to meet that need and continue to expand our services to adapt to community needs.
But I've noticed that more Tampa locals, personally, me too, was more aware of the Alpha House than Dawning Family Services. What is the connection between the two?
So we're the same organization as Alpha House of Tampa. We served women who were pregnant and women who had young children under the age of 5. And when the organization started in the 80s, that was really what the community needed. We saw that there was a need for us to expand and serve all families with minor children. So whether they're multi-generational, single father, LGBTQ plus, and we really wanted to expand our mission to meet that need. And with that, we changed our name as well to kind of represent the expansion.
Okay, so I was researching you guys. So tell us about Dusk Till Dawn.
So Dusk Till Dawn is our annual fundraiser. This in March, we had our second annual event. This is really a fundraiser set to raise awareness of families experiencing homelessness in our community. And participants come and join us for the evening, and many spend the night sleeping out on our campus or participate virtually. And it's really to start to give people a glimpse of what our families are going through when they're living in places not meant for habitation. So what is it really like for a parent to have to get their child ready for school, to bathe their child, to feed their child when they're living in their car, and really set up with interactive educational activities to kind of bring awareness to what's really happening for these families.
So when you say spend the night, do you mean, do they sleep under the stars or something? But
They do. So people either sleep in their tents or outdoors or in their cars. And people have really found that it makes a profound impact. We think we might understand what families are going through, but when you kind of take that time and set it aside with the intent of truly understanding, the the event itself is extremely impactful for those that have participated, and it really is eye-opening into the struggles and challenges our families face.
Kind of like walking a mile in their shoes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. You talked about the expanding need and how your brand expanded in the branding and everything to explain the evolution of moving from just women to families. So what is the criteria for qualifying for help from Dawning Family Services? I mean, as far as I can see, housing instability is the need is greater than what you could possibly fill. So how do you decide who you will help and who you will try to help?
So one of the things I'm proudest about at Dawning Family Services and what I feel makes us unique is our programs are low barrier. And so we really want to work with families to bring them into services, to screen them into services and not screen them out. Our criteria for services are that you are a family with at least one minor child in your custody. So if there's one minor child in the household and you are a Hillsborough County resident, you would be eligible for services. And we don't screen families out because of criminal history, eviction history, involvement with child welfare. We really work with them to make sure that they're getting the services that they need despite some of their previous or current challenges and barriers.
Interesting. Your website displayed some incredible 2023 results. For example, according to the site, almost 1,200 people were helped, 85% of which were families, and those in your rapid rehousing program signed a lease for a new home. That is amazing. I want to say congratulations to that.
Thank
Now,
you.
when they come in through your program, do these families get any training or other resources to help them avoid returning to a homeless situation in the future?
Yes, they do. So our families, despite which program they might come through, we work with them for an extended period of time. So once a family is housed, we continue to provide a continuum of services and case management services to really make sure they're able to sustain and maintain that housing and not return to homelessness. So with some of our families, we work with them for up to a year. Some of them, if there is a great need or circumstances dictate, we can extend that up to 18 months because we really want to make sure that the family has what they need to maintain that and kind of, break that cycle of homelessness.
And what does that look like? Is it like career training or credit or what is that?
Sure. So some of the services we offer is we do have prevention for families at risk so that we can jump in and help them maintain housing or move to new housing so that they don't experience homelessness. Our rapid rehousing program provides rental and utility assistance for families, and our Work for Success program works with parents to help set them on a career path that would provide a sustainable income. And for families in true crisis, we have our short-term emergency shelter. And all of the families are assigned a dedicated housing and support specialist who works with them to identify what the family feels are their greatest needs so that we can either provide those services for them or connect them to community resources to kind of give them the education or medical care or mental health services that they might need for ongoing support.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Tammi, you and I actually met at Tampa Bay Exceptional Women, TBU. We're both members there, and I know that TBU is also another 501c organization, and they've really helped Dawning Family Services. give us an example of how organizations have or can help, kind of like how I'm aware that Tibu has helped you.
Yeah, it's great. Tibu has been a great supporter of us, both financially and with in-kind support, such as supplies for our shelter, linens, pots and pans, kitchen essentials, and also with supplying food for our food pantry, which has been extremely significant and meaningful to us in our programs. And it's just a great representation of how organizations can help us, either through financial support or helping us with some of those products and essentials that we need to purchase to keep our programs running.
Or like what we're doing right now, helping to build that awareness
Yes,
and
absolutely.
get the word out further and farther. Yeah. So how can, I know you kind of came through a little bit in what you just said, but how can listeners, maybe not organizations, but individuals help Dawning Family Services?
So there's lots of ways to help. As I mentioned earlier, our biggest ongoing need is financial support. And we're really trying to expand our monthly donations. And so those recurring gifts really allow us to plan for the future and increase services. We're also in need of volunteers and items such as non-perishable food items. With the raising cost of groceries, we are really challenged by keeping our food pantry full. It's a small food pantry, but it really meets the needs for our families when they don't have any other place to turn to for those items. We also need hygiene items and, kind of essentials that you would think of that you might need for an apartment, such as pots and pans, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, are a great way that individuals would be able to support and help us as well.
So PSI TV goes out beyond Tampa. So I want to just say, for those of you outside of the Tampa area that it may not make sense to send hard goods like food and so forth because the shipping would be there. Maybe you consider adding Dawning Family Services to a monthly gift. Some kind of monetary help would probably be the most helpful. So Tammi Casagni from Dawning Family Services, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Well, I would just like to share that Florida in 2023 was the third state in our nation to see an increase in homelessness behind California and New York. I think it's important for the community to understand that because I think we really need to band together to start addressing this issue because the impact is great, especially for children who are experiencing homelessness and don't have a safe place to sleep.
Wow. So there you have it, folks. Tammi Casagni, Dawning Family Services. You can check them out at dawningfamilyservices.org. I will have that website in the credits for you so you can make sure to spell it correctly. Tammi, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you, Trudy. I appreciate it.